Hello, I'm Ross Underwood, head gardener at Hodnet Hall in Shropshire, and I've just come inside our rather cluttered potting shed to take some rhododendron cuttings, and I thought I'd show you how we do them. These are tender rhododendrons that we grow here in frost-free conditions under glass, and the one that I'm using today is called Fragrantissimum. Now, because they've been grown under glass, there are lots of shoots available from which we can take cuttings, and these are what you would sort of call a term of sort of semi-ripe cutting, really, that you would take on an outdoor shrub in this country in the summer. In terms of selecting material for cuttings, it is important that first of all the material is pest and disease free, but what you're looking for is an axial rather than a terminal shoot. And what do I mean by that? Well, this is a terminal shoot. As you can see, it's coming straight out of the end of last year's growth, and this is the division between them. Now those shoots tend to have a bit too much nitrogen in my experience, to make successful cuttings, and what you want is an axial shoot. So this is an axial shoot. As you can see, it's coming out of the side of last year's growth, not straight from the top, and these tend to make more successful cuttings. How can you tell when they're ready? Well, the rule of thumb that we use is what I call the Paul Hollywood test, which is take your shoot, and if it just sort of snaps like a bit like a biscuit, there we go, then that normally to me indicates that the material is ready. There's nothing special about the compost. It's ordinary multi-purpose compost, but it has had lots of perlite added, which is the white thing you can see there, and that just opens it up for drainage. So we'll take our cutting, which is here, and then what we're going to do is take off some of the lower leaves, because the cutting will be losing moisture even now straight away from its foliage. So here we have our shoot ready to use as a cutting. So we're going to just take it off using a clean sharp knife, take off the side foliage, and then using this knife again, we are going to just reduce the size of the foliage, just to reduce transpiration loss. And I'm just cutting here just below a bud, again making a clean cut with a sharp knife, dipped into a little bit of hormone rooting powder or hormone rooting gel, and then inserted thus into the seed tray. So I'll take you into one of the greenhouses now that houses these plants. You can grow these plants in a frost-free greenhouse or in a conservatory over winter, and then bearing in mind the old adage, never cast a clout till May is out, put them outside once all danger of frost has passed. So in here we have a group of rhododendrons. This one has not long come out into flower. This is the wonderful Countess of Haddington. But the one that I was taking a photograph of is Rhododendron Fragrantissimum, and this is the specimen behind me. If I just tilt the camera. So I'm 6 foot tall, so it's probably, 10 or 12 feet tall. It's been in a pot all its life. It's about 20 years old, and I was taking cuttings from the new growth. This particular rhododendron will have lovely scented white flowers on it. We keep them in here just in frost-free conditions over the winter, and then we take them out in the summertime and put them in a part shaded area where they get morning sun, keep them watered, keep them fed, and then they come back in here before the first frosts really take a toll. For those of you actually who would like to grow these as houseplants, you don't have to let them get to this size. You can pinch out the new growth after flowering, and that will keep them nice and bushy and contained. And as I say, if you don't let them roast in summer, but keep them nice, cool and frost-free in the winter, you can enjoy the flowers. Another rhododendron, this is one that actually isn't so tender. It does need a bit of shelter from wind. This is Sir Charles Lemon. Again, it's probably 10 or 12 feet tall, and again, it's lived in a pot all its life. But this one you can grow outside. It does just need a bit of shelter from the wind. For those of you who think, well, rhododendrons, they only flower for 3 weeks a year and then they're just a cabbage, look at the wonderful, wonderful foliage on this Sir Charles. Beautiful rusty-coloured ingumentum. That's a woolly sort of hairy covering underneath the leaves, and then on top as well you've got this really striking foliage, and this one will come out with beautiful big trusses of cream coloured flowers. So that just gives you an idea of some of the things that we do here at Hodnet, and also some of the possibilities within the family of rhododendrons. They're not all for grand gardens. They can be grown in domestic sized gardens. The key is to choose the right plant for the right place, and also to join a club or a society such as the Rhododendron Group, where you can get to talk to interested, like-minded people and learn a lot more. So I hope that's given you a little bit of insight into the possibilities of the genus, and given you a little bit of inspiration to find out more. Take care.